Hey guys, GHZD here, back with another video. Alrighty, so there is a huge amount to cover in this video, so bear with me here. Skip to different parts like usual if you want. Let's go. Alright, so Month of the Mad God has finally gone live. We all know it, we all love it. The annual event of free stuff for a month, new content and fun. The only problem here is that there is so much being added that not everybody actually knows what the hell is going on, so I'll try my best to bring you guys up to speed, alright? Because I was just as lost as a lot of you might still be. So let's address probably the largest elephant in the room first, that being the official release of the Lost Halls dungeon. They announced that this dungeon would actually drop in August, which is this month, and I assumed that it would be at the end of the month, so I was definitely surprised when they said they were going to release it on the day of Month of the Mad God, so I'm pretty stoked about that. The dungeon itself is extremely large, and there is a ton of stuff with it that has both confused me for a good few hours, and it has entertained me at the same time. But I do believe I now have an understanding of what to do now, so I'll give you guys a quick little rundown on everything you need to know. As predicted, paired with the Lost Halls release, its respective in-game event called the Lost Sentry can be found within a realm, and it just spawns like you would expect, so nothing crazy special there. The Lost Sentry, from what I've seen, drops the new UT cloak in a white bag. I've only seen one screenshot so far, but I'd imagine it would be pretty darn rare. Once you're in the Lost Halls, you'll have to clear out the enemies, and like a Puppet Master's Theatre, it doesn't show you where the hell the boss actually is. It will feel quite repetitive as it does take a while to clear, even with such a massive group. Just be careful because you'll notice that the Reaper that goes into the Lost Halls during the event's death animation will wander around the corridors, kinda like a Pac-Man dude. So be very careful because you don't know when he's gonna appear or disappear. The entity in and of itself is actually invincible and there is literally no way to kill it, so just avoid it until it goes away. And whatever you do, don't sit on it. Like not even slightly. All the rooms in the dungeon essentially look identical except for the Marble Colossus room, which is technically the main boss, the Agonized Titan room, and what I'll call the Ceramic Pots rooms because there's ceramic pots everywhere. Now, it's important to note that it's not actually possible to kill all of the bosses within a single dungeon run, so you've got to be selective here. There are a total of 4 boss-like entities within the dungeon, but you'll only be able to do a maximum of 2 each time. So the Marble Colossus, which is technically the main boss, is pretty self-explanatory. You'll find some destructible walls, you'll enter, you'll get permanently locked in, you kill it, and then you're done, because you can't actually get out of the room again. But you might recall coming across the Agonizing Titan on your way to the main boss. Now initially when you find this dude, he'll be chilling in his little room with a locked dungeon entrance on the floor, nothing will happen and it will remain that way until you can activate him somehow. Now remember, you can't get back to this guy if you go to the main boss fight, as the route back off is blocked, so you're gonna have to pick which way you want to go. To activate the Agonizing Titan, you must find and bring him all 5 of the pink flames that you will come across in the dungeon. Luckily, once you've entered the Titan's little chill room, the 5 flames will show up as red dots on your map, so you'll be able to actually find them easier. The flames themselves are found within the Ceramic Pots rooms, which are the other room types as I mentioned earlier. The pink flames will then follow the nearest player, so sometimes it's quite tedious trying to get all 5 of them to the Titan boss room. Once all 5 flames are in the room, they will congregate on top of him and he'll activate. Now this fight really isn't that hard at all and I probably wouldn't even consider him a boss, but whatever, I'll do it anyway. Once he's dead, the portal he was guarding opens and you have the choice to enter. Now here's what I meant by you can't kill all of the bosses. You can either continue on to the main boss and not enter this portal because you won't be able to come back, or you can enter the cultist portal without being able to return to the Lost Halls. So you see the problem here. So if you do choose to enter the cultist portal, you'll come across this groovy looking place. Just follow where the path takes you and you'll eventually get to the boss, where there will be a large pentagram in the center where you can then fight the boss. Once the boss is dead, you're done. So remember how I said there were 4 bosses? Why have I only talked about 3 of them then? Well, that's because the 4th boss requires you to obtain a vial of pure darkness that only drops from the cultist boss. It's kind of like an incantation that opens the portal to the Void boss fight. The only problem is that it only works in the Colossus room. So that means to do the boss, you need to do another Lost Halls, fight the Colossus, and then pop your Vile Potion in the center of the room. Then you can go and fight the Void Entity. So yeah, it was super confusing trying to figure all of this out. Luckily I had all of you fellas in the stream chat feeding me information, so it was a little easier. Now onto the drops. The Marble Colossus, as you would expect, drops all of the marble set for the Paladin. Here's all of the updated official stats for the items. The Void Archer set, as you would also expect, drops from the Void Entity, and again, here are the stats. The ST Golem Trickster set, yes, I did say that right, it is an ST confirmed set. They drop from the Lost Golems, which are just enemies that you'll come across here and there in the main dungeon rooms. Here's the stats, and I can confirm that the Golem of Anger drops the Rusty Cuffs. As for the others, I'm not entirely sure. The Necromancer Cultist pieces drop from the Cultist bosses, as well as the Vial of Pure Darkness, so just be aware of that. The Omnipotence Ring, as far as I'm aware, hasn't dropped in game yet, but from what I know, it drops from the Void Entity. Alright, so you're still with me? I hope that cleared up some of your confusion if you had any anyway. Now onto the events of Month of the Mad God, which are also quite hectic. So as you probably know by now, as it's been teased for a while, the Oryx Horde is now live. It's an event that will spawn at the beginning of a realm's creation, so it's kind of like a Lucky Jinn or a Lucky Ent. It's a pretty sweet event that has Craig running around spieling about random crap as you find the Mossy Oryx. Once you kill the Oryx dude, then the Mossy Brute spawns. Then 2 Mossy Guardians, and finally the finale, which has this Ghost Oryx dude, as well as other Mossy Oryx that hit for pretty high-ish numbers, so avoid all of the shots if possible. All of these enemies in the Horde can drop tokens, loot treasure bags, and stone skins from what I know. There might be more, but I'm not entirely sure. Now, we're definitely familiar with the tokens by this point, but this time there are 3 types: the Moss token, the Stone token, and the Oryx token. Once you collect 10 of a specific type, you can double click it to convert it into a treasure bag. Now treasure bags, once consumed, can spawn a variety of items. If you play Terraria, it's kind of like their treasure bag concept, if that makes sense. Each bag type can spawn different things, but the main items you're looking for are the stone skins for all of the class types, so you'll have to grind out a lot of tokens to get your hands on all of the skins, that's for sure. Paired with this Oryx Horde update, you can see that the daily quest calendar has updated and the rewards are pretty damn good. A free character slot and a vault chest is always welcome if you ask me. The rewards also include more tokens and some treasure bags, so make sure you claim them every day. On top of all of this, there are some new mystery boxes, the art contest box which has some tokens, some player made skins that won the art competition, and some interesting looking keys. These are apparently the equivalent of the ruby, emerald, and diamond keys that were released a long time ago, except they generate a key in your inventory rather than just opening it directly, which is a lot cooler if you ask me. The mystery box you probably care about though is the Craig's Fame box that you can roll to get only 1 treasure bag that refreshes each week for 100 fame. So they say you'll only be able to roll it a maximum of 5 times over the month period, so I'm pretty stoked about that nonetheless. Along with all of this, Deca have finally released a way to remove dyes on a character by consuming a dye remover, which you can buy for fame in the Nexus, which is nice of them. Unfortunately, they're bugged at the moment, which I'll imagine will be fixed in the next wave of bug patches, which is to be expected. I've also seen a ton of complaints regarding the server and realm crashes, as they're definitely prominent, but guys, no update will ever be perfect. Give them some time to patch things up. Jeez. There was also some more balancing to the scepters, and the skulls for the Necromancer got buffed, which is also nice to see. I won't go into this too much, but here's the changes anyway. The Leviathan looks slightly different now. I'd imagine to look a little bit more like an actual Leviathan. I heard that not many people actually like this change, but I honestly can't see anything wrong with it, like at all. On top of this, the Acclaim and Hydra got changes slightly, specifically only 2 pixels for both of them, but it certainly gives them a fresh new look. Thresholds for enemies have been lowered, most notably in the Godlands enemies, so it'll be easier to get stat potions from less amounts of damage if that makes sense. Some dungeons are shorter, like the Abyss of Demons, and the Puppet Master's Theatre doesn't spawn a chest anymore, which is pretty cool. Stop the leeching please, thank you very much. And this certainly would not be a Deca update if there weren't some new skins and pet skins, and boy did they not hold back on this one. Oh my god, prepare yourself. Like always, on top of all of this new chaos, some old chaos has been fixed, as well as some quality of life changes, like the Oryx Realm announcement being visible even when in a dungeon, so that's really nice, I do like that. So it's just polishing up the older to begin working further on all of this new content. And finally, as you'll already know just by logging in straight away, they have now released the free 100 stat potions as well as the golden mystery skin for you and stuff. So go and collect that if you want. The 100 potions are actually these things called mystery potions, where if you consume one, it'll spawn a random pot in your inventory. So make of that what you will, in case you were confused about how they work. So that pretty much wraps up all of the crazy hecticness that is Month of the Mad God combined with the Lost Halls madness. So it really is just an absolute bundle of fun at the moment. I hope I cleared up some stuff if you were confused as to what the hell is going on. Have an awesome day, guys. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.